In this video, I'm receiving Thiago, who is a seasoned DeFi entrepreneur. He's going to tell us about his story and all the projects he's built. He's done so many projects, so I think it's going to be super interesting for developers and entrepreneurs who want to get started in the space. Hi, Thiago.
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me, Julien. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Thiago, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who are you and how did you get into crypto?
Yes, so I'm Thiago. I'm now in the university in economics, and I started getting into crypto when I was 16 years old, 16, 17 years old. The first time I heard about Bitcoin was in dark websites. So I've never went to websites in the darknet, but I found it special about the currency. I was like, it is anonymous. People don't see the transactions, and it works without the government, in a decentralized manner. So it was a very nice thing and feature for me. So I started getting interested into Bitcoin. I've invested a bit, and in 2017, when it shot up, I was very excited. And then I shifted my attention from Bitcoin to projects in cryptocurrency, to development. So I started building when I was 18 years old, Investigo, which was an investment fund where people could invest in stocks and indexed funds that I would create with some stocks, and then the benefits would be distributed to everyone. At first, we were like 13 people, so it was a very little project. And then I've had the idea to connect the Investigo fund with dCash. So dCash was a cryptocurrency based on Uniswap. So at the time, Uniswap was very new. You had like just one project, important project in there, which was X. I don't know if you remember it, Julien. And X was like a brand new project and a very special project. You didn't have like any decentralized finance in the cryptocurrency, and X was the first one, I would say. So dCash was a currency with intrinsic value, and the value would come from the fund. And people that invested in the fund, part of the benefits would be going into dCash, And then, like when dCash went up, part of the dCash benefits would go into the investment fund. So it was kind of a edge thing between the Investigo fund and the dCash fund. So at first, that was very new also. So it raised, I think, 100 ETH, which was very great for me because it was the start. And I built it with, yes?
Okay, so I just stop you quickly here. So, I mean, I'm super impressed how you started to build from the very beginning of the DeFi industry, because at that time in 2019, Uniswap was just getting started and DeFi was nowhere close to where it is today. But already at that time, you were one of the first builder in DeFi in the industry. Like it must have been really, really difficult to build at that time because not many people were doing it.
Yes, it was very new. Like at first, when I learned about the interface in Uniswap and things like that, it was a very simple interface, but it was very strange to understand because you didn't have to sign up, you didn't have to do any registration, didn't have to give your identity, and it was decentralized. So at first it was very difficult to trust, a decentralized protocol. What if there is hacks? What if there is bugs or issues? And but then it was okay. It was fine. Like decentralized things are revolutionizing the crypto industry. I prefer using Uniswap. It takes only 3 seconds. You can swap it without any identity cards or anything, so it was very cool. And yeah, so dCash started with 100 ETH. We then had some interest. We built like things like Investigo, the website, other applications, and then there was like the DeFi boom. So it's yield farming, everything, and we decided to build Swiss, which is the thing we are talking now.
Okay, so let's pause quickly here. So I think what's important for people to understand is that up to this point, you've been building all of this as a student, right? It wasn't your full-time thing. You weren't paid for that.
As a student, yes.
So you were really doing this for free, also building your reputation. You know, this is something that is very important because some people, they want to get paid right away, but in this space, you also have to spend some time to really build something for free first, and then only after you start to get some traction and things start to align. And that's what happened for you guys, because at that time you had some traction, and so you had this idea for this second project, Swiss Finance, who was bigger than the first one.
Yes, it was much bigger. So we created Swiss Finance. At the time, the farming industry was very new. So it had just started with Yarn Finance. And yes, what was interesting is in dCash, we had a problem, a bug. The price went down. And what we created something like people would put liquidity in dCash, and we would give them more dCash interest. And that's very interesting because it was before Yarn Finance. So it was not automatic like Yarn Finance, but it was like we would give like every week, we will take a snapshot and give them dCash. So it was kind of a farming experience, a first farming experience. And then like we created Swiss. So Swiss, it was a deflationary farming protocol, which means that it will take 3% fees on the buy and sell transactions, and it will invest these fees back into the Swiss token. And how would he do it? So when the price was under a formula we created, it was a weighted average formula. When it was under this price, the protocol would buy with the fees the Swiss token, which means there was like a sort of an internal arbitrage between there, between the users and the protocol. The protocol would buy below the average purchase of a user. And that was the first deflationary farming protocols that would come. We would have core finance, also C-Vault. And after that, so that was the first step with Swiss Finance.
And so with Swiss Finance, you guys were quite successful because you guys attracted quite a lot of trading, right?
Yes, there was like 1,100 Ethereum on the platform, and I think at some point more than 1 million USD in the liquidity protocol.
In terms of trading fee, you guys made some money?
And in trading fees, there was like $200,000, which was very great for a new project like this.
Yes, because at that time you guys didn't really pay yourself; you were just doing this for free. So finally, you started to have some money and to potentially reinvest it in the business. And so, from your success with Swiss Finance, then what was the next step?
Yes, the next step is, so a farming project, the problem is that it fades away very quickly. People farm the token and then they give up and switch to another project. So what we wanted to do for Swiss Finance was to attract users with the farming project and then to create Swiss Swap. And Swiss Swap is being created. It will arrive, I think, in 3 weeks, 1 month maximum. And it's a mix between DEX tools where you can trade with charts, with technical with technical tools, analysis, and everything like that, and also Uniswap. So it is a mix between Uniswap, DEX tools, and the most important thing it has, it is futures platform or options platform, if you want. So you can predict on the up or on the growth or on the decline of any token you want. So you create the contract. Any user can create a contract with the token they prefer, and they can bet on the downside or the upside.
It's so innovative. I never heard about this. So it's really like a sort of mix between DeFi and betting market.
Yes, it's something like that.
Okay, so let's say I'm a trader. Why would I go on your platform instead of just trading on Uniswap?
Because like Uniswap, for instance, you don't have like, you cannot bet on the downside of a token you want, you know. There is a lot of tokens on Uniswap, a lot of tokens also that are weak fundamentally, that don't have value, or maybe there are farming tokens that decline on value. And sometimes like I want to short them, you know, I want to bet on the decline of this token, but I cannot. If I go to Binance, there is only strong fundamentally tokens with great growth, with investors behind it. And with SwissSwap, what you can do is like, okay, I want to bet on the downside of this token. I create a contract, and then it's peer-to-peer. So people can long the token with leverage if they want. And Uniswap, you don't have that. So you don't have like, you cannot increase your position with the same funds you have, and you cannot short it. You cannot bet on the downside.
Okay, so I would say like two advantage. One is that you can short any token, and second is you can go long with leverage. It's like big difference. And
yes,
and so I think there is another component to your system, staking, right?
Yes. So when SwissSwap launches, there will be a 0.5% fee in the trades, and that will be used it will be given in form of Ethereum, so directly in Ethereum, not in any other token, to people that will stake Swiss. So it's a new thing.
Swiss, sorry, Swiss, which is your governance token, right?
Yes, which is our governance token. Now with the farming, it's declining in price, but the program will finish in 6 months, and now in 4 months, and then we don't have farming anymore. We only have SwissSwap, and people can stake their Swiss and earn commissions like in Ethereum. And then we have also 0.3% of all the fees in the SwissSwap platform that will be used to buy back Swiss. So yeah.
Okay, so actually, if I understand well, there are two ways that the price of the Swiss token is supported. One is with a trading fee from Swiss Finance, which I used to buy back the token, and second, some fees are also taken from SwissSwap, and I also support. Okay, so it's like two ways. So when we look at your journey, that's really impressive because you've done so many different projects, and it seems like you always leverage the previous project to build something bigger. So I think this is something very important to builder in this space. Like everybody wants to build the next Google, but they don't know that it's actually better to start with something simple, and then you leverage this. You build something bigger. Maybe probably in the process you make some money, you attract some attention, and somehow things are easier for the next project. So I really like this this model. Like I don't think many people think like this, and so I was wondering, you know, like for most people in crypto, they think of Switzerland as this paradise for crypto. So what do you have to say about this? Because you're in Switzerland, right?
So I'm in Switzerland. And yes, it's kind of a paradise in crypto. So if we are talking about taxes, you know, because I believe there is like a 0% policy in taxes in Switzerland, and in France, I think it's very high. So
oh yeah, man. Oh, don't tell me about it. Like I'm French, and oh my God, like I have a friend he's a freelancer in Paris, and so he set up his company to charge his customer for 1,000 euro that he charges customer in his pocket. At the end, after all tax, it's 300. It's really high.
It's really high. And the thing, I think what the French are doing is like killing the, I don't know what's the expression in English, but like killing the golden eggs before the golden.
Yeah, it's too much. But so in Switzerland, so low tax, and also do you guys have like some regulation for crypto companies?
Yes, like for example, Cresco fine. It's a bit easy to be regulated in Switzerland. So, for example, Cresco, which is another project which is aiming to revolutionize the banking industry. So mixing the banking industry with DeFi, he is regulated by Switzerland, and I know some countries that it's very difficult to be regulated when you are a crypto bank. We also have like Swissquote, which accepts crypto. It's also a bank in Switzerland, or kind of a bank, a brokerage. And yeah, Switzerland is very crypto friendly. So it's very good.
Do you think one day Switzerland will use a blockchain for votation?
That would be very nice, really. Yeah.
For people who don't know, in Switzerland, they have this system where you guys can vote for like local stuff. I mean, better than me probably. But yeah, I mean, this is very unique in the world. And I think like if blockchain is used in politics, they will probably start with local stuff.
Yes, I think like blockchain is being used in some states of USA, but just to track the votes. So like, for example, the same kind of the same thing of like VeChain, where people can track if it is a genuine vote. America is doing that, but if Switzerland can do that in a much wider way, with like local votes. So we have local votes first, and then we have like national votes, and it's quite a kind of like many governments in a country, So it isn't like one person who rules and anything. It's like many kind of states. Contents.
Yeah, it's really interesting the way Switzerland does it, but I think that's great, and I think more countries should do it, because this is really a good system to put the power back in the hands of citizens. And yes. So, if how people should follow the news for Swiss swap, because I think you guys going to launch soon, right?
Yes, in maximum 1 month from now. And they can follow it on Twitter. So we have like a Swiss Finance Twitter. I send you the link.
Okay. I'll put it in the description of the video. Yeah.
Yes, that's cool. Yeah. And what I want for them is like to enjoy using SwissSwap. If they find any great value, if they want like to bet on the downside of any tokens they want, they can do it. And if they find also value on the Swiss token, if they want to participate on the governance, because we are launching the governance in 1 week from now. If they want also to get fees from the platform with the Swiss token, they can use it if they want to farm it. So it's really like you said, yes.
Oh, sorry, like I cut you, but I was just about to ask you, where can they buy the Swiss Finance token?
Yes, the Swiss token, they can buy it on Uniswap.
Okay.
You can maybe also, I don't know, put the link or if you want.
All right. All right, Thiago. Well, thanks for coming here. That was a very inspiring story for everybody who is thinking of building something in DeFi, and also check out SwissSwap, new DeFi protocol who is going to launch very soon. Thanks, Thiago.
No
bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.